Okay, so now we need to learn about some basic lab safety and equipment. Okay, we're going to go over lab safety first. So, we're going to be spending a lot of time doing labs, so it's really important for you to know how to behave appropriately in the lab so that you can stay safe. Okay, so generally, you're going to read through all of the procedures before you begin doing anything else in the lab. Okay. Some more general guidelines are to keep your lab table or your desk neat and organized, because if you spill something or you break something, you don't want to get what you're spilling or broken glass into your notebook, things like that. So keep things, um, in an organized fashion so that um, we don't have clutter banging into each other and causing breakage and spilling, okay? More general guidelines. In case there's an emergency, you're always going to want to tell me before you do anything else, okay? The only exception to that would be if somebody's on fire. If somebody's on fire and you're able to help them by getting a fire blanket on them or turning the shower on for them, then you want to do that first. There's enough people in class where if there's a fire that gets started, someone can tell me first while someone else has a chance to help if that's at all possible. Okay, I always want to know what is going on in the lab, so even if you aren't sure, just ask me anyway, in case you want to make sure that maybe some glass broke or something like that. So you need to tell me. Don't think that anything is too minor for me to know about. Okay, spills, breaks, anything like that. All right, so no horseplay in the lab. Okay, you want to take lab very seriously. We're going to be using chemicals, sometimes things that are hot. We're going to be using heated surfaces, and you don't want to be goofing around and end up getting hurt or hurt someone else. So the saying, it's all fun and games until someone loses an eye. That's what happens. Everybody thinks they're having a great time until somebody gets hurt. So let's be safe to avoid that happening. All right, if you're not sure about something, before you go and do something that could cause an accident or, maybe a lot of extra time on something that you could save yourself some time by asking me, because you don't want to go through an entire procedure and doing it the incorrect way and then find that you've lost all of this classroom time because you didn't bother to ask me first. So if you aren't sure about something, go ahead and ask. All right, lab safety equipment. All right, because we want to be safe, we have these different kinds of equipment that can help us while we're doing laboratory experiments, okay? So you all know probably that you should be wearing goggles anytime that you are dealing with heating things up, or if you are working with chemicals, okay? We want to protect our eyes. They're very important to us. We need to be able to see, okay? Even while you're cleaning up, just because you're done with the experiment does not mean that you might not get something into your eyes. So make sure that you leave them on, okay? There are the goggles there. Also a lab apron, okay? You might want to wear an apron over your clothing to protect yourself in certain circumstances if you're working with very harsh chemicals or very hot substances. In case you spill something onto yourself, it would protect your clothing and even your skin if it's something that would have burned through your clothing, like boiling water, for instance. And heat-resistant gloves. You want to use these if they're available to keep yourself from getting burnt. They work pretty much like pot holders in your kitchen. Okay, in case there's a fire, in order to prevent fires, you don't want to ever walk away from an open flame or anything that is being heated, okay? So you want to stay there, it's really close by, just to make sure that accidents don't happen, okay? And you need to keep your hair tied back. So ladies and guys who have long hair, you want to have your hair in a ponytail pulled back out of your face in case it falls in front of a flame to catch fire. You don't want that to happen. I do have extra hair ties. Whoops. I have extra hair ties in case you need to use one. Just make sure that you ask me for one. You can keep it, okay? Don't wear loose clothing or jewelry when you're doing lab. That's also self-explanatory. Those things can get hot and burn you, or they can catch on fire, okay? Fire extinguishers can be used to put out fires. In order to use a fire extinguisher, you will pass, okay? That's the acronym for how to remember how to use the fire extinguisher. So you pull the pin out. There's a locking pin. You will pull, you will aim the barrel of the fire extinguisher toward the fire. You're going to squeeze that trigger, and then you want to use a sweeping motion to put the fire out, okay? Also, a fire blanket is best to use if a person is on fire, to put a person, to get a person to stop burning. But if you have to use the emergency shower, you can use that as well, or stop, drop, and roll works, okay? You are not allowed to eat and drink during a lab, okay? So if you have labs that you're working on, you may not have any food around there. You don't want to get chemicals into your mouth. Don't ever taste chemicals, and make sure you waft, okay? Waft in order to see what a chemical smells like. Don't ever put your nose directly over the top of a test tube or a beaker to smell. You can damage your lungs and your airways, okay? You always want to wear gloves when you're handling anything that's toxic, and dispose of the chemicals correctly. Most of what we'll be using can be dumped down the sink, but if there's ever any special procedure for disposing of chemicals, I will definitely let you know, okay? But before you pour something down the sink, if I haven't already told you, make sure you find out if it's okay. All right, and if there are any spills, make sure you let me know, okay? Don't try to clean it up yourself. Get away from the spill and tell me immediately so that I can help you clean it up in the proper way. All right, and if you get chemicals on yourself, you want to use the eye wash or the safety shower to rinse those chemicals off, okay? The eye wash, you're going to put your eyes directly over the eye wash where the water comes out. You want to turn the eye wash on. You want to let your eyes rinse under the water with your eyes open for about 15 minutes. Okay, glassware. Hot glass doesn't look anything different from cold glass. So don't ever just grab the glass to see if it's hot, or to pick it up without the correct safety equipment to hold onto that glass, just in case it is hot, okay? You always want to use that safety equipment. Broken glass goes in a special trash can. It does not go in the regular trash. If there's ever any broken glass, you want to let me know, okay? You want to use glassware that is, not cracked. So if you notice any cracks, you make sure you tell me. If you notice that cracked glass, when it's heated or when it's cooled, can actually break. Worse, it can shatter, get in your eyes, and things like that. So we want to make sure that if you see any cracks, you let me know before you use it. You always want to wear closed-toed shoes if you're going to do a lab. If you spill chemicals or hot substances, you could burn your feet. So make sure that you have that. And also try to be wearing long pants to school because those will help protect your skin from hot things or chemicals if they do spill on you. All right, so now it is time for you to practice what you have learned in this video. And also take a look at some of the safety videos that I've included so that you can see how to properly handle equipment and use it.